Hey, everybody. Welcome to Making Connections. This is your girl, Aly. I hope everybody is having an amazing day, whether it's day, morning, night, wherever you are. I hope everybody's having an awesome day. So, I definitely, wanted to kind of, because this is our 5th year anniversary this month, established May 2018, Mother's Day weekend. So, some of the pictures that you saw were when we were first starting and some of the different people we've had on the show when we try to get out in the community and things like that. So it's an exciting time. So we're still celebrating and we'll see more of those little clips as we go on throughout the month. I did want to highlight there's a community concert going on in Charlotte, North Carolina today. It's a fundraiser for Project 704. They work with disabilities and people who have handicaps and different things like that. So it will be at the Greer Heights Community Park, and it is today. Like I said, it begins at 2 p.m. until 6 p.m., and the address is 3100 Leroy Street, Charlotte, North Carolina. Listen, it's a concert. They having performances, they have bouncy houses, they have food. Listen, take your family out and fellowship, network, do whatever you need to do, and support the fundraiser. Amen.
Amen.
Hey, so I'm excited. We have a new family member making connections today, and I'm excited to talk to her and hear her story. And so for you today, we have Nima Shining Star L. How you doing today, lady?
Peace and blessings. I'm wonderful, wonderfully tired. I am wonderful and excited to be here with you. Thank you so much for having me, and congratulations and happy anniversary.
Thank you. Because there were some days I didn't think we was gonna make it, but here we are, right?
That's right. I understand.
So we'll get into some of your story about, your journey and what you've been through. But I definitely wanted to give you an opportunity just to greet the family, tell them a little bit about yourself, and then we'll jump into more about what you have going on.
Okay. Thank you so much again for having me. So I'm Nima Shining Star L, and I am from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, city of brotherly love and sisterly affection. Hey, y'all. And yeah, I'm excited to be here. So I was explaining to Miss Allie that I had a photo shoot. I did a photo shoot last night at midnight, and I haven't gotten any sleep, and I have one after. And so that's part of what I do. So I am a photographer, published author, poet, um, oh my gosh, all artists. We all do multiple things. We all have our hands in so many things. So from writing to poetry to painting, some of everything. I actually have a holiday coming up, so we'll get into that, But yeah, so I'm kind of a jack of all trades and a master of as many as I can be. My grandmother used to say a jack of all trades and a master of none. I'm not claiming that.
Right, exactly. Exactly. I like the way you put that because
Thank you.
and you're right. We all wear different hats these days, but it's just so much to be done, right? And God has given us so many gifts that who are we to sit on any of them, right?
Mm, absolutely.
Yeah. So like she said, I mean, of course we always not downplay, but we always forget all that we do. She's playwright. She's got some new releases out. Like she said, she's a videographer, photographer. So it's so many things. So let me ask you though, how
Yes.
do you keep it all going?
Well, here's a running joke. I told my mother when I was about 17 that I have a lot of personalities up here and they all have to do something. Otherwise, they will dispute. And we don't need that.
Yeah.
So I've always been a multitasker, and I have to keep busy. And a lot of times my ideas come on at night. It's like all the lights come on after midnight. So at any given moment at 3 a.m., I'm painting or writing a new book or taking a photo. And that's just who I am. I have to be busy. I have to stay productive. And I also feel like you said, God gave us gifts, and it would be a sin for me not to do my best to use and utilize all of those gifts.
Mm.
So I'm trying to add a verse to the universe. Shout out to Karis One, who said that a long time ago. So this is my verse to the universe.
Oh, I don't remember that one. I like that though. My verse to the universe. That's nice. And we all have a verse, right?
Yes,
Your verse may not look like my verse. My verse doesn't look like the next person, but all the verses coming together. Oh my gosh. What a nice symphony. What a nice book.
yes,
What it's just a culmination of so many things. And
yes.
your verse helps me to continue my verse. So I like that.
You we verse off of one another.
Yes, yes. Now you've also been on Big Blue Radio, right? On the
Yes,
I always,
yes,
I always pronounce it wrong. Is it Floetic Poetry?
yes.
I
Absolutely,
always go
absolutely.
backwards. I say
Yes,
Poetic Poetry.
yes.
So what was that like? So did you come on and you would do
Oh,
spoken word, or what was that?
okay, so I was invited. I was invited to do some poetry on Big Woo Radio. I was invited as a guest, and I came on one night, and I had such a good time. We had conversations, we talked, we laughed, and it was like family that I never met.
Mm.
And I was invited back again. And then after that, Big Woo and Brother JT, they reached out to me and they said, "Hey, would you be interested in being a part of our show on Friday?" And I said, "Absolutely." So that was just, being a co-host on Big Woo Radio has been a blessing. I got to meet so many wonderful and beautiful people, so many talented people, and we're family. And believe it or not, I have yet to actually meet and hug Big Woo, JT, Nyana Renee, JB, all of my family over there, but we are a family, and it's been a wonderful experience. So, and you can actually go on the internet and find old episodes because right now we're in hiatus. But you can find old episodes on every topic, every show, and just listen to your heart's content.
Oh, see, I think that is so cool because, JT is one of our guest experts every fourth Monday. And so we have probably been doing the show together for maybe a year and a half or what have you.
Nice.
Jonathan hosted an event for Janet Marie Hefney, her book signing.
Mhm.
And so that was the first time we were, like you said, in the same room. But it's so amazing how, like you said, it just feels like an old friend, feels like
Yeah.
family. And so that was cool to finally, lay eyes on, take some pictures together and stuff like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I met Jonathan through Big Woo Radio, and being able to be a guest on his show and talk to him, and I mean it's such a network, but it's still family. Everybody kind of vibes off of each other and feeds off of one another and shares with one another. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here with you, because Jonathan, you know, he was, he talked about you and he reached out to me, and I'm like, yeah, I would love that. Hello, absolutely. And he made it happen, and he is the man with the plan.
truly. Jonathan Coleman, I shout him out all the
Yes,
time. He is a PR specialist. If you
yes,
need help getting connected to, finding your tribe, getting in a place where
yes,
people support you, definitely reach out to him because he's got the connections.
yes. He's the man with the plan.
But I love it because just like you were talking about, you meet so many different people
Hmm.
or everywhere. Just like, I may not have ever met you because you're in Philadelphia. I don't go to Philadelphia often. You're probably not here often. But through this network that we have, through social media, through internet, we are have to me, we're sitting around the kitchen table just talking.
Yeah, yes, we are having tea, having cookies. Yes, pound cake. Okay.
Listen, and I love it. So tell us about, because I know you have a couple new releases out. Jonathan was telling me. So what are those releases? Is it a book? Is it poetry? What is it?
Okay, so my latest two releases, they're actually both books, but one is a book of poetry. That book is entitled, and that's so sad because sometimes I can't remember the titles of my own books, but stop. That one is called Until the Pencil Breaks, Until the Ink Runs Out. And
Mhm.
that is a collection actually of poetry of mine, my three children, they dedicated some poetry. So it's kind of like a family project. My three children, my granddaughter, and my mother. They all contributed pieces to this book. And it's a really thick book. I actually, this is one of the books that I'm most proud of, because it has my family involved, because their words are in it. And I've changed this book cover. My manager and I, shout out to Brother Born Free, my management team, we've changed this cover so many times. And I was like, I don't want to go with that. I don't want to go with that. We've changed the title about 3 times. Originally, and I'm going to tell you, I never shared this before, so this is an exclusive. Okay. But originally, the title of that book was supposed to be called Nima Simone.
Oh,
Yes, it was a dedication to the late, great, iconic,
yeah,
love, vibe, strong Black woman, Nina Simone.
yeah.
Um, and there was a couple of pages dedicated to her as far as her songs and just what she did for us and the legacy that she left behind. And I prayed on it. I prayed on it. I prayed on it. And because my name is Nima, it was just like, it was perfect. But I prayed on it and I said, you know what? I'm writing so much. I feel like my ink is going to run out. And I was
Mm,
writing so much. I said, I probably broke about 4 different number 2 pencils. So I said, yeah, we're going to go with that title until until the pencil breaks, the ink runs out. And I was happy with that. So that's a collection of poetry. And the other book is very small. It's a quick read, very thin. And it's entitled Sometimes in the Light. And that book actually started off as an album cover because I'm old school. Yeah, I might still use that one for that, but I'm old school and I love albums. And I had some photos done, and I said this is going to be my album cover. But I said, you know what? I'm going to use it for inspirational words. So what it is it's about 28 or 29 quick reads, pages of inspirational words,
mm,
words of encouragement, daily, as people call them, daily affirmations. So many people write that kind of stuff, and I said I want to add mine. And to me, they're a little more realistic because sometimes you read these things and you're like, yeah, that sounds great, but I can't do that today. It's not in me. I'm going to pray about it, but it's not in me. And I can't even reach that. So, they're very easy to do. Basic things like, for one, day one, tell yourself that you love yourself. Look in the mirror and say, I love you.
mm,
You know,
mhm.
day two, forgive someone. Now that's hard to do. That's very hard to do depending on what that person did to you. And it doesn't mean forget, but it
Right.
means forgive. And there's a difference because God forgives us. Who are we not to forgive other people? But we're humans. So, you know what I mean? We're lower. So it's easier for us to claim that, like, well, I'm only human. I can only do so much. But so daily affirmations, inspiration every single day, easy to do. And you can read it over and over again. So that's called Sometimes in the Light, because I believe that sometimes we sit with ourselves in the dark. And when you sit with yourself in the dark, you have time to think,
Mhm.
and then you have the aha moment, and that's where the light comes in. You say your prayer, and there it is. So
Oh, I like that. And
thank you.
and just even talking about that, the first one, looking in the mirror and telling yourself you love yourself. Some people that's hard for.
Yeah.
And I think that tugs at my heart because I'm like, oh my gosh, what have you been through that it's so hard for you to tell yourself that you love you? We have to forgive ourselves too. You know, uh, we just had a funeral last week, and we were talking about when we're young, we make the best decisions we can make.
Mhm.
Sometimes they're not the best decision.
Mhm.
Young, we're in that moment, so we have to forgive ourselves, and we've all been there, right? We've all made a
Yes.
decision that we wish we could take back, or have
Mm.
a relationship we wish we didn't engage in. But it's really part of life. As long as you live through it, thrive through it, come forward, it's okay. It's just part of your story. It's what made you who you are, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So I love that, just
Thank you.
that initial, just telling yourself you love yourself, and
Yes.
then then it opens you up to all these other things. And so even the other affirmations that come, you can accept them more easily, don't you think?
Yes, absolutely. You get it. You get it. You got it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. And like you said, it's hard. It's hard to look in the mirror and say, you know what? I love you through all your flaws. I love you through all your mistakes. I love you. It takes some time. Sometimes you have to build up to that.
Hmm. And I love that, you have it in book form so I could go back and, even when I don't maybe feel it, but I can just read it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Do the steps. And then as I continue to do the steps, the more I do the steps, the more I feel it. So,
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Come on. Come on, Miss Allie. Come on, Queen.
so we can find these on Amazon.
Yes, you can go to Amazon, you can order any of my books. I have a number of books out, about I want to say 15, but yeah, you can go and you can find those. I'm sorry, I'm holding my device, so if the phone looks a little wobbly, I apologize.
Okay.
Um you can go to Amazon and find those. You can direct message me, and you can go to the link in my bio on Instagram or Facebook, and just it'll take you right there. You can actually download them, most of them to Kindle, which is very, very cheap.
Hmm.
So it's up to you. If you get with me, you can get an autographed copy, because from Amazon I can't autograph it. So it all depends. There's a number of ways. Just get the book.
Get the book. Listen, I
I
love it.
saw that. That's why I said that. I saw it across the screen. So I wanted to say, get the book. Thank you.
I know Alan shows up just in time. We love him. So I like the title to your other one. I like the fact that it's a family endeavor. So all your children do poetry. So did you get this gift from your mom?
I got it from my mother, who actually I love my mother. Hello, mommy. I'm trying to get her to publish her book. She has, you know how we do. We have a number of composition notebooks sitting in the closet collecting dust, and she's read some of her stories to me, and they're like movies, and I'm like, Mom, we need this out. I saw the whole movie, but she writes, but she doesn't have anything published until I started saying, I'm putting your work in my books.
Mm.
And but my grandmother also, because my grandmother's a published author. So it's just a long list of writers. My son is a writer. I actually co-wrote a book with him called Nima's Nightmares. His name is Ish the God. And so it's a horror. We call it our Edgar Allan Poe experience. But yeah, so a family, thank God, a family of writers, painters, creators, singers, just some of everything. I wish I could have got the singing part, but that's okay, because if you look at my page, I pretend to sing all the time.
And also on your page, you do something now called is it thought provoking?
Thoughts Provoked has been out for some years, but I just kind of got caught up into so many other things that I kind of slowed down. But it's called Thoughts Provoked, and it basically is um a segment where we talk about things. I come up with a topic, I send the information out, we discuss it, and I do try my best to make sure I let people know ahead of time, like, it's not appropriate for anyone under 21, or whatever
Mhm.
the topic may be. Sometimes I'm a little rough around the edges,
Mhm.
a little extra rough, so I do give that warning. But they're legitimate, realistic, everyday topics, from domestic violence to child abuse to dating issues, marriage issues, just some of everything. Everything that touches our lives, I try my best to talk about and provoke your thought, because you may have never given it a thought before. So that's why I entitled it Thoughts Provoked. And because Thoughts Provoked it just happens. What am I doing with my phone? Oh, okay. It just so happens to be partial title of my first book. My first book I ever wrote is called Poems, Quotes, and Thoughts Provoked. So
Okay. Yeah. Well, obviously, you can tell I love conversation.
I do too. I do too. So we're twins.
Yes. And so I love it because, like you said, even with the affirmation book, it's telling yourself, I love you. So
Hmm.
we go through life so quickly, and we're always telling other people we love them. We're always showing up
Yes.
for other people, but we don't stop to tell ourselves that. So you reminded me to stop and tell myself.
Thank
You
you.
reminded me, telling me, okay, you don't have to forget what they did. You don't. That doesn't mean you have to
Right.
back into your life, but forgive them so you can just flow. So it'll be
Right.
out of your system. And I think it's
Right.
so important. Listen, it's so much. I spoke the other day and I was like, listen, I don't want to raise my eyes in hell. It's so much hell on earth. When I leave here, I just want to leave it behind. But I
Yes.
have to
Oh,
live in it while I'm here. I can
yes.
be at a place of peace. I can be at a place of joy, but it's a daily decision. I have to make that choice, right?
Yes.
Why is
Mm.
it important for us to make those choices?
Oh, you know what? It's important for us to make those choices because if you don't, someone else will make it for you. Yeah. It's just like we find ourselves, like you said, we're taking care of other people. We're making sure other people are okay. But as you do that, I'm going to give you a really good example. I'm not going to say too much, but every day I hug people.
Mhm.
Every day certain people come to me and they're like, I need one of your hugs. I need your energy. And I'm like, yes, if you need it, come get it. And I'm hugging and I give really, really, really good hugs. And by the way, just FYI for all of you watching, there are some people that actually charge money for hugs just
Yeah.
to random strangers, which I don't suggest, but people actually pay people to do that. So anyway,
People don't get hugs that often. And
yeah, they're actually people that actually get paid to cuddle with people. Like literally will come to your house and cuddle with you. I'm like, yo, I'm in the wrong business. But anyway, but I give really good hugs and you can feel my energy and I'm very real and I love that. And a lot of people come to me for that and I give it away. And then sometimes I'm feeling so depleted and
Mhm.
so low on energy in life, and sometimes kind of like melancholy and then even sad. And I'm like, why? Because we forget to hug ourselves. We
Mhm.
forget to love on ourselves. And that's why it's necessary that we remember, listen, just keep your eyes on beauty because it's enough drama, as you said, to go around. It's enough pain and agony. And people always say the world is horrible, the world is crazy. No, it's not. It's the people in it. It's some people in it. But
Right.
you have to remember to uplift yourself. Otherwise, you're going to be on the other side with them. And we need as many of us on this side, on the right side, as possible. So
Mhm.
I think that's why it's so important.
Yeah, and I think that's why, there's such a drive, I'm just feeling it for you to continue to put out your words of poetry, your the paintings, because I feel like even artwork, I've been to museums and seen artwork and it just speaks to me. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It makes me feel like, oh man, I can relate to this. There's a story there. And it's like that for everybody. Your story, what you see in it might be different from what I see,
Exactly.
but it
Exactly.
bless me, and that's
Exactly.
music, photography, all those things give, like, the pictures you took last night and the pictures you're taking the day of the graduation, it gives this person a memory of this
Yeah.
in time and how they were excited about life. And sometimes we have to go back and look at those pictures and be like, let me get back to this young lady or this young man when I was
Mm,
excited about yes.
exactly.
I think you went out for just a second. Did you say something?
Did I? Oh no, I was agreeing with you. You froze. Maybe it was on my side, but I was agreeing with you. Absolutely. That memory and time and say, I need to get back to that person, or man, I was really happy then. What was I doing in life that was making me so happy? Did I stop? Or, whatever. So yeah, I totally agree.
Listen, I love it. Listen, I just want to encourage people. That's what I'm about. People
Thank
try
you
to put
so
like,
much.
James JT says, "Good afternoon. What an awesome guest, and Nima Shining Star L. She is a living legend as a poet, truly."
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Thank you, brother JT. I appreciate you to the fullest. Thank you so much. He's always been a blessing.
yeah,
And you know what? He's a person along with Big Woo and Niana Renee and Jonathan and now you that have encouraged me, throughout the years and encouraging me now to just keep doing what I do. And sometimes sometimes I put down my pencil and I'm like, I'm done. I'm not writing another book, another verse. I'm not doing another painting. I'm finished. I'm not going on it. I'm not, you know, I'm just not doing anything. I'm not going on social media, anything. And then it's like, I get that from you guys. And I'm like, okay, I got a little more wind. I got a little more in me. Okay, I got a little more. So I thank you all and appreciate you all for encouraging me and just treating me like family. That
Mhm.
means a lot. That means a lot.
It really does. And he also said great author and radio personality on Big Blue Radio. And so, but that was one of the things that I love to, have the conversation about, with just being real.
Hmm.
When you had those moments and you're like, I'm not doing this anymore, what really kept you going? I know you said, you would get messages, but really, where did you have to dig deep into to keep going?
You know what? Honestly, I honestly I pray about it, but it's my children and my grandchildren because I say, we're not promised tomorrow. We're not promised later on. You know what I mean? And I say, what do I want my legacy to be? Many years from now, I said this before, many years from now, when the dust from my bones is in the soil and pushing up daisies, what was my legacy? What do I want people to remember? I want people to be able, it doesn't matter what technology is going on, you can push a button and say, oh, Nima Shining Star L. Oh, she tried to help people. She tried to encourage people. She left words of wisdom, and that's, words of wisdom for my children, for my family to say, this is what our mother, our grandmother, our great grandmother, this is what she did. This is what she left for us. We need to either try to do the same or be better. This is what we're, so I think thinking about my legacy, I want to empty out so much of me into the world that when I go, they're like, man, she gave it everything. She gave everything. Like, you don't have to ask any questions about who I was, who I am, who I strived to be, what work I did, who I loved, who I didn't love, whatever. You never have to ask. This click of a button and you can go to a video, read a book if you don't like videos, and it's there. So I think that's what encourages me thinking about what's going to happen when I'm no longer able to say what I want to say.
Mhm.
Nobody has to there. You don't have to play a guessing game. Nobody has to speak for me because I'm speaking for myself.
Wow. That's major right there.
Thank
Leaving
you.
that legacy. Truly, I mean, because we know that we are examples for other people, especially it all starts at home. And so
Absolutely.
we don't want our children to be defeated by this life or defeated by somebody's words that come
Right,
against
right,
them.
right, right.
So, we have to show them, hey, look, I've been through it too. I know what it feels like.
Absolutely.
I feel you hurt. But guess
Absolutely.
what? They're just one person in this whole universe. You still have verses to add to the universe. So keep
I
going.
hope I hope so. I pray so.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a big thing because there's so many people who are giving up. And so these conversations are so
Mm,
important. These conversations are needed because it's going to be people we don't even know, like you said, that are going to push this button. They don't have to push it today. It could be 2 years from now
mm-hmm.
and be like, I needed this today
Absolutely. I agree. I agree.
to keep going. Mm-mm-mm.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
So, what is something, because I know you do so many different things, but is there something you still want to add to your repertoire, that you still want to learn or
I do. I do. I want to write movies. I want
mm,
to write movies. I want to write movies, whether they go to the big screen or a Netflix series, because I love me some Netflix.
yes.
Um, because I have a lot of stories. Actually, a lot of the stories in my books could easily, is just the right connecting with the right individual or individuals, and being careful because another thing you have to try to remember: all that glitters is not gold. You can want to do something and it can be right there at your reach, but if you don't get it, that means it's not meant for you.
Mhm.
It's not meant for you for whatever reason. God can be trying to keep you out of the pits of something.
Right.
Could be trying to save your life because if you go down that road, that's not where you want to be. So, but if it's meant for me, I would love to write movies and mini series and things like that. Because, like I said, all of my stories are easily stories on Netflix or on a big screen. So I would love to do that, and I would love to host live in person my own, like host my own poetry spoken word event on a regular basis. You know, yes, I may do a couple of pieces, but I want to bring new people and new artists in. I want people to take the mic and take control and speak their words and just, you know, I would love to do that. You know, it's kind of like what was it? Deaf Poetry Jam. You remember it? I don't know if you remember that.
Yep.
Okay, with yeah, so it was like Russell Simmons. It was Def Comedy Jam, but it was Def Poetry Jam as well. And I would love to do that. You know, just have my own space where
Mhm.
people come and they just, you know, light that mic on fire. And I would love to do that. I would love to do that.
Oh, yes, I can see that happening.
I would
Yeah,
love to do that. I
opening
would
up a
love to.
space and making people feel welcome because a lot of
Yes,
times,
yes,
it's scary to
yeah. And you know what? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm not trying to offend anyone, but I would not host poetry slams. I love them. I think people, you know, iron sharpens iron, and I think competing with people keeps you sharp, keeps you fresh. But I am not into poetry slams at all. I have witnessed too many people hurt emotionally and mentally by things like that. So if it's not meant for you, it's not meant for you, and that's the one thing that's not meant for me. So
Right.
I definitely wouldn't be hosting poetry slams.
I feel you with that one. Yeah.
I've seen them. I can appreciate them, and I know they're necessary for the people that love them. But it's just not my cup of tea.
Right, right. Because even at first, you can start off, oh, it's a game. It's we're just playing whatever. But I have seen the tides turn. It's just like that one little thing that might trigger that person, and you're like, oh
Yes,
man, we took it a little bit too far. But by that time, it's too far, right?
yes.
Mhm. Well, Nima, stay with us. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to
Okay,
do a song by Clayton Savage, Seven Long Days. He's got a new
okay.
album out called Legion. So y'all go to Apple Music. Y'all know Clayton Savage. He's back from the Sugar Hill Records. Worked with them a long time ago. So he has been around. He is a legend. And
Mm,
um, this is one of his songs, Seven Long Days. But Nima, when we come back, can you share a piece of your poetry with us?
sure.
Okay, awesome. So y'all stay tuned for more with Nima Shining Star L.
I say when a boyfriend and girl another guy. I cannot stand the thought of you with another dude, touching you, doing all the things that we used to do. Finding out that you're hot, whether you try or not, whether you ready or not, whether you ready or not. They gonna be calling you up, they gonna be seeing a lot, trying to break us up, trying to break us up. All of the stuff they say they be making up. Yeah, you're sexy and you're classy, ooh, you're nasty when you wanna be. I wanna know, where did you go? You couldn't take no more. I found a note left on the door. Says that I am faking with my hesitating, and I'm the reason we are breaking. 7 long days I was waiting for you. 7 long nights I was waiting for you. Waiting all day, waiting all day, waiting all day. 7 long days I was waiting for you. 7 long nights I was waiting for you. Waiting all day, waiting all day, waiting all day.
Hey, everybody. That was Clayton Savage's song off his new album, Legion, and it was called 7 Long Days. And he has his own record label now. It's Red K Records. And so you can find him on Instagram, Facebook. He's doing a lot of Instagram and Facebook Live videos and talking about, just his journey with music. He's always willing to help somebody. If you're a new artist, listen, because this man is a legend and because he's willing to help, you need to reach out to Clayton Savage. And again, that's Red K Records LLC. So just want to remind everybody about the event today that's taking place. It's the Community Concert 2023 in Charlotte, North Carolina at Greer Heights Community Park. And the address is 3100 Leroy Street in Charlotte, North Carolina. Mr. Excitement, Brandon Brown will be out. Music is going to be by Connected Radio. It's bouncy houses, food vendors, community resources, but it's a fundraiser for Project 704 Forward. And let me just tell you, because Brandon's always doing something, but also on Sundays, he hosts a brunch. It's every Sunday from 12 to 4. I believe the brunch actually begins at 1, and that is usually at SoundCloud Check. I always get this wrong. Hold on. Cloud Check Hookah and Daiquiri Bar. That is also in Charlotte, and the address is 2600 Clemson Avenue, 12 to 4 every Sunday. Take your family out. Get out of the house and go enjoy this brunch and just enjoy being out and being with one another. Amen.
Amen. Come on now.
Right. So we have been talking to Nima Shining Star L. She is a poet. She does spoken word. She is a photographer, a playwright, and the list goes on and on. She's a mother, a daughter, just a kind soul. And so she's going to share with us one of her pieces of poetry. So Nima, what would you like to share with us?
It's funny because I said I'm actually not home, so I didn't bring, which is so unprepared. I didn't bring any books, but you know what I did? I wrote something fresh
Okay.
during the break.
Really?
Because my mother and my manager always say, be prepared, even if you're not, be prepared. So I actually wrote something really quick while we were on the break. And if you notice, I took my jacket off because I was like, I kept fixing my jacket. I was like, why do we come on camera and start fixing things up? You're supposed to do that before you come on the camera. I changed my hair. I was like, girl, you should have did that before you came on. So I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready.
You got ready for the delivery. Come on, girl.
So so I wrote something. So and I just thought about my mother, since we were talking about my mother and my grandmother.
Mhm.
And I wrote something similar, but this is fresh. So whenever you're ready, I'll start.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. This is entitled She Is. She is that queen. She is that woman. She is that black beauty. She is that person that made many mistakes, as we spoke of earlier, but asked for forgiveness. I remember sitting between her legs as a child in the summertime on the stoop, She braiding my hair as she yelled for her youngins to come for dinner. Cornbread and collard greens soaking with turkey butt smelled through the air. Ooh, I love me some good food. The streets were packed. Jam with kids chasing Mr. Softy. Jam with people selling water ice. She smiled as passerbys complimented her on the smells coming from her window, complimented her on the way she kept her children without a husband, complimented her on her smile and her sexy thighs and her dreamy eyes. Between her legs sat I, squinching my eyes because braids were too tight, but I knew they had to be for school the next day. See, it was a Sunday. And I did not want to hear a word coming from her mouth because I wanted her to be done. She sat on that stoop and braided and watched her children play safely, unlike we do today. She sat on that stoop and watched other children and yelled for them to get out of that street. You see that car coming. See, we can't do that today. We're too busy chasing the internet. We're too busy TikToking and doing things of that nature. But she kept her children in line. She struggled. She made it to every meeting, tired with sleep in her eyes, made sure that she talked to teachers, even when she got a bad report. Got home to discipline just right. Nothing too major, but just so we knew that mama don't play that. She sat me between her thighs and braided my hair while tears came to my eyes when she said, "One day you'll do the same for yours."
Mhm.
And guess what? Mama ain't tell no lies. In peace.
Mm. Come on, Nina.
Thank you.
Listen, and you wrote that
I
for
wrote that just now while we were on the break. I said I didn't bring any of my books, and I don't remember any right now. So we just gonna have to write something down right now. But see, it's easy when you dig in and you think about, especially your mother and your grandmother. God rest his soul. I love my father, but he was not a present dad.
Mm-hmm.
So we got older. So
Mm-hmm.
mama she had to do what she had to do. And a lot of times we look at our mothers and say, "Oh, you didn't do this, and we didn't have this, and we didn't have that." And mama sacrificed.
You better say
She
that.
sacrificed and
Mm-hmm.
did what she had to do. So when I think about my mother, sometimes it's easy, to write how she used to always tell me, "One day you're going to be a mother. One day you'll understand." And I definitely understand now.
Wow. Listen, I was about to cry right there. It, it,
Thank
because really, remember all those things. I remember, getting my hair braided. You better be still. And, I remember, like you said, the time where everybody could act like our mama, tell us
you.
what was right or wrong. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And I don't understand why people be like, don't talk to my children, don't do that. I'm trying to help your child. But anyway, but that's your business. That's your decision.
Yes, yes.
But, that community, I could see the whole picture, Nima.
I thank you. And it's easy because there was, you know, that's what happened. And like you said, there was a time, and I never thought as a young child that I would be saying there was a time. I'm like, oh, that sounds like something grandma would say. Well, I am a grandmother, a young grandmother, but
Mhm.
there was a time, where you could do those things. I'm not even gonna get into that. But it was easy to write because I thought about my mother and how I sat on the steps so often getting my hair done and I hated it and I cried, or sitting in the kitchen. Even my grandmother, I could make up one right off the top of my head right now, but even my grandmother sitting in the kitchen, she didn't braid, but she straightened our
Mhm.
hair. Oh my gosh. That grease. Grandma, you burning me. I ain't burning you. That's the grease. Well, you and the grease need to stop because the grease is burning my.
The grease is showing up, though, okay? Didn't they tell you to grab your ear? I was like,
Yes. You go to school with little burn marks on your hands. Oh, you got your hair straightened.
oh gosh, I'm telling you, oh my gosh, and just the smells like coming out of the kitchen. Whew. That's good times. That's good
Yes.
memories. You know what I'm saying? we, like you said, at the time we didn't understand them. We didn't understand why we had
Mm-mm.
to get her and why they had to be so tight. Because
Yes,
listen, mom knew that there was a schedule, and this was the day she could get everybody's hair done, and
that's right.
she can't do it every day like this. So she had to
That's
do it on
right.
Sundays, make sure it's good and tight, so it can last a while. So, oh man, I'm just in awe. You go ahead, girl.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I kept saying, "What am I?" I said, "I told her I had a piece." I said, "So you better remember something." I said, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to write something down right now."
That's amazing. Listen, that's your gift. That is your gift. I love it. Thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you for doing
Thank you for having. Thank you for allowing me to share it. I appreciate that. I listen. I appreciate that. I started thinking. I said, "Wait a minute, don't make this too long," because I started thinking about my grandmother with the jars on the stove, one for fish, one for pork, and one for chicken. I'm like,
that.
why is she saving grease?
Yeah. Yep.
That's just nasty. But when she used it, the food tastes good. I said, "Oh Lord."
Isn't it? I remember. See, you taking me back to you taking me back so many memories. Oh my gosh. Listen, y'all need to make sure you you have these experiences and these memories for your children when they grow up, because you don't want them just to think about, well, I know mom and dad were in the house, or maybe they were working, but I just remember playing games with my friends on,
Hmm.
you know, they got to have this interaction. They got to have these moments to share
Yes.
and to keep growing. And just her saying, one day you're gonna have a daughter and you're gonna have to do the same.
Right.
Man, we gotta
That's
remind
right.
our children, one day you're gonna have children.
Hmm.
Make good decisions. Stay out of trouble. Be productive
Yes.
members of society. So we got to teach them how to do that though, because we don't want the world teaching them, right?
Listen, it's so hard. It's so hard. It's so hard. You have to pray, pray, pray. You have to do your best, but you also have to have something. I think you have to have something that a lot of people don't have, and that's a circle. You
Mm,
have to have a good circle. You
yeah.
can have a circle, but it has to be a good circle, because it takes I'm telling you, it takes a village. People don't understand. It takes a village. If you don't have a village,
Yeah.
it's like, think about it, when you think about the dynasties and the empires and the kingdoms that African Americans, Black people, Asiatic, Moors, whatever you choose to say,
Hmm.
when they fought, in those times, it took a village. It was village against you had to have a village, otherwise you were a one-man army, you
Right.
know and you had to have a village. And this is war. They're waging war on our children.
Hmm.
So you need a village. But people don't look at it like that. But you know what? That's another story for another time, because I could get into a whole another conversation. So I'm gonna leave that alone.
I feel yeah, I feel your passion too. But it's true. And the thing about having a village is because, you know, we as even the things you do a lot of things, but there are still other needs that you have. You know, you have a manager who worries about bookings and keeping you on
Oh,
track. You have somebody who's doing social media marketing, things like that. We have that village because, and like you said, after we give and give and give, we get weak. So we got to have that village. So when we're weak, somebody else is coming and say, you go rest today. I got the kids.
yes,
I'm here today. I'll cook
yes,
today. I'll, do whatever you need to do. And so I think we've forgotten how important that village is.
yes. You're right. You're
Value
right.
that village is.
You're right. Yeah, absolutely right. I agree 100%. So you have to do what you have to do to make sure you get what you need so you can be replenished. I always say, if you're constantly doing this, pouring out into other people's glasses, you have to eventually look at your pitcher and say, "Hey, I'm almost out. What am I going to do?" So,
Yeah. And you
yeah,
can't pour again until you what?
yep,
Refill.
yep, yep, absolutely.
So even talking about like your Netflix, visions and things like that. Is there anybody in particular like you would like to be on the stage with, or write some collaborate with, to write something, or
Absolutely. I would love to. Now, there are a number of people in my world, in my everyday life, that I would love to collaborate with on stage. My manager, for one, Brother Born Free, because he's a talented manager, but he's also a published author of a number of books. And I would love for us to collaborate on stage. We've collaborated in books, but I would love to collaborate on stage. But as far as out there in the world, as far as celebrity and things like that, I would love, love, love to do something with Oprah Winfrey. I would
Mm,
love to. I think we would make a great writing team, great visionary team. I would love to write with Shonda Rhimes.
mm,
I love a lot of things that I love everything that she does. There's just a couple things that I would probably not do, but I'm gonna leave that alone. But I would love to collaborate with her. There are so many people, so many people. I would love to collaborate with. Oh my goodness, as crazy as this is going to sound, Sylvester Stallone.
mm, yeah.
I have some things that I would love to write for him. And, the list goes on and on. I mean, there's so many people out there that I just look at and say, you know what? You could probably benefit or be a good actor in this book that I'm writing. I would love, love Angela Bassett. Oh, please, come on now.
Yeah.
Please. I have so many stories that I could write for her and she be the center stage. So, I'm just going to say in time.
Right. Yes. I can see it happening. Go, girl, go.
Thank you. In time. So, but yeah, can I just say, can I plug a holiday? I just want to plug a holiday. Is that okay? Okay. So June 8th, I don't know if I'm jumping the gun here, maybe not, but June 8th is a holiday called Love Thy Brother Day. It's a celebration of Black men all over the world. It's a celebration to remind Black men all over the world that we love you, that we need you, that you're necessary, that we see your struggle, and we want to stand beside you, not behind you, not in front of you, but beside you. And if you drop the ball temporarily, we do not mind picking it up and waiting for you to grab it again or for us to pass it to you. You're loved. Uh, we can't understand your plight as Black men because we are not Black men. Only you can understand it. But we can listen. We can learn. We can accept. And that holiday was created by me, Nima Shining Star L. You can Google it. You can look into it. Every year for the past couple of years on Big Woo Radio, we try to do different programs to celebrate Love Thy Brother Day, where we invite poets and spoken word artists and community activists and just all types of men, brothers from all over to call in,
Oh, wow.
talk about what they're doing in their communities, positive, what they've done since the last show we've had, but to celebrate. So if you're not familiar with Love Thy Brother Day, look it up. It's not brother, it's brother for a reason. Love Thy Brother Day. It's June 8th.
Wow. Listen, you remind me of that day, okay? I'm going to try to remember when I get off of here to write it down. But remind me about that because I think that's so important. I
Absolutely.
remember, one time when I was in the church world, speaking
Hmm.
and stuff like that. I always tried to have, not just a men's conference. I mean, men's conferences are good, they're good, but it was like we just need a time where they just come and get loved on.
Yes.
Not necessarily preached to, but just show
Yes.
love, an opportunity to sit around and talk to one another, not just sitting where one person is talking to them, but talk to one another where they can,
Yes.
share
Yes.
their stories, hear their experiences,
Yes.
find out that this man did the same thing you did, but now he's on the right path, or his marriage is still together. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? We again that village.
Yes. Yes. We are. And here's the thing I often say, I say, we don't have to celebrate Black men, because people get, in this day and age of the culture that we live in, we get so focused on negative things or competing and why don't we have a women? Listen, we can celebrate each other all day, every day, but we need to celebrate our men. We can celebrate each other all day, but Our men are being gunned down in the streets. Our men are being shoved into prisons. Some people for something so small, for things that they, how many people are being exonerated and exonerated, but let free after realizing, oh, they didn't commit this crime and we took away 40, 50, 60 years of their life that they can't get back. No,
Right.
no amount of money can give you back time. But I also say that there are so many men out here that never had a real hug or have been told that they were necessary or loved. They
Hmm.
haven't had the experience to feel genuine love. It's all been fake imitation. What can you do for me? That kind of thing. So it's necessary. And as young men, like we have to get them early because guess what? The streets, they get them early.
Right.
So we have to get them early. We have to, I hate to say it, but we have to kind of think like criminals. We have to think like these drug dealers. Like, hey, I'm going to seek out these young individuals to do my work. That's what they do. So guess what? We have to find them before they're
Amen.
found by those people
Amen.
and get them and hold on to them and love them and appreciate them and show them that they're necessary. Now, we can't save everybody, but guess what? Out of 100 people, if you save one or two, guess what? You've saved a village because that one or two, those one or two people could have possibly been the next murderer of somebody or the
Right.
next thief or whatever. So we have to think. We have to get up early in the morning and you don't have to force yourself on anybody. Every day I'm at the bus stop, I say a positive thing to a young brother every day. I always say, peace, King, peace,
Mhm.
King, be blessed, King, have a good day, King. I used to have guys looking at me crazy when I said that, but now those same guys are like, peace, Queen, how you doing? They would
Mhm.
never open their mouths before. Now they like, peace, Queen, or to a Muslim brother that I see at the bus stop now, instead of not speaking, now before I even taslim them, before I even greet them, they're like, Assalamu alaikum, Queen. I'm like,
Mhm.
Alaikum assalam, King. And it puts a smile on their face. It
Right.
doesn't take money. You just do something. And if you see you can't, then don't. But
Right.
they need it. That's
Right.
all.
Right. Whew. This we're gonna end the show on that note because that's important. We could have a whole nother show about this well because listen, they're going through so many things, and like you said, we can't really say we know, we understand, and we have to be compassionate about what they're going through. Sometimes they
Hmm.
come home and they're upset, they're angry, but it doesn't have to
Yes.
be at you, and we have to give them that space to be able to release it in a safe way,
Yes.
and we have to make it a peaceful place because like
Yes.
there's so much hell on the other side. When
Yes.
they come through these doors, it's got to be a place of peace. So,
Yes, those gangs are taking our babies quick. They're telling them, "I love you. This gang is your family," and
yeah,
they're doing everything for. So we have to become the gang in
yeah,
a positive way
yeah.
and get them first.
Mm, that, we need to do a show all about that.
Let's talk about it. I'm ready.
Do it. Let's do it. Well, Nima, it has been a pleasure. I can't believe an hour is gone
Thank you
already.
so much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I love everything that you've shared. I appreciate what you're doing. Nima Shining Star L on all social media platforms. If you want to leave any last words of encouragement or tell them any more about how to follow you, you can do it at this point.
Like Miss Allie just said, I can't say it any better. Nima Shining Star L on everything. Jump in my inbox. I'm here. And just so you know, I always say, they hack a lot of pages. I hope to never be hacked, but if they do, we sharing those pages, okay? Because I got too much content, and you'll know it's me because I'll contact you directly. So Nima Shining Star L on everything. Get the books, get at me. Let's talk about it. Let's love on each other, and let's just uplift one another. And in the meantime, in between time, do you and take care of you.
Amen. Amen. Well, you guys, we are making connections with Allie. We're here every Saturday at 12 noon, every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, we are celebrating our 5th year anniversary. Woo-hoo,
Congrats.
established Thank you. Established May 2018. So as we continue on through the shows and start posting some things on Facebook about our journey, and how we got here. We started off just radio. Now we're video format. We've been on different platforms, but we found a place and a home here, and so we love it. We also have we're trying to get it some more followers on Facebook because content like this is good content. It's not just about me, but when I bring a guest on, it's because they have something that I think will help the whole family. And so it's not just about me, but I think more people need to hear Nima's story and what she shared. So make sure you're following us on Facebook. Make sure you like and share this video with others. Listen, this content is just it's life changing. It's life sustaining. So
Yeah.
that's what we're trying to do here. We are. You can follow us on YouTube. We have a QR code. We're trying to get a little up to date with everybody. But we have a QR code that you can scan. I think Alan's going to show it, and that'll take you to our Facebook page. And but even if we don't have a code, it's making connections with Aly. Follow us, Instagram, all that good stuff. But anyway, until next time, because we got more content to come, we got more guests to share, more stories to tell. So until next time, as always, we're leaving you with there's our QR code for it. And so if you want to scan that, it'll take you directly to our our YouTube page. So subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when new content is posted. But as I said, established May 2018 with more years to come. So until next time, as always, we're leaving you with love, positivity, and good vibes. Have a great day, everybody. See you, Nima.